Technology touches our life in some way or the other. It is difficult to imagine life without technology around us. There are people working to make this technology happen, and of course that means career opportunities. The need for tech professionals in the future is only going to grow. So today let's talk about what career choices you have in tech as a woman. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so you can get notified when we upload more and more interesting content for you. To be honest, I don't see why there should be any tech job that a woman can or cannot do, especially in India where women are in tech in far larger numbers than many other countries. If you are someone who has a bachelor's degree in science, computer science, maths, engineering, then you have many more options to choose from, such as database administrator, computer systems administrator, computer support specialist, software programmer, machine learning expert, QA/QC tester, DevOps engineer, information security analyst, and your career growth would be from a junior to senior to team leader to project manager to CTO. But for those who are switching over their careers or want to start off now, fear not. You have many options too. The options are just a little different to begin with. And then if any of the other fields interest you, then you can foray into them through experience within a company. I am going to explain this in as layman terms as I possibly can. Now we are going to talk about these options from two perspectives, tech and non-tech jobs. Yes, you heard that right. There are many non-tech jobs that one can also do in IT, especially if technology interests you, but you cannot wrap your head around coding. The tech jobs that you can begin with are developer for CMS e-commerce website builder platforms. This role is at the edge of a tech role as most part of it involves using a platform such as WordPress and building things so that you can get a website up and running. You do require knowledge of HTML as you may need to do code insertions and minor changes to the code to meet your client requirements. You will also need to install several plugins that may have certain tech jargons such as site security, payment gateway, etc. But nothing that you cannot learn with a little bit of practice. Best part is you can just kick off right on your own to learn all of it. If you know coding, example PHP in case of WordPress, Node.js and Handlebar.js in case of Ghost, Liquid in case of Shopify, then you can even customize the themes on these platforms. You could build themes and sell them on marketplaces such as ThemeForest. Data scientists. Data scientists use data and numbers from various sources and provide analytics to leadership to enable them to make better organizational decisions. A computer science graduate would definitely be fit to get into a data scientist role, but people from other fields such as economics, maths, statistics, business information, or any other field can also take this up as a career by doing a specialized course on data science. This role can be highly intellectual but also intensely satisfying. You will need to learn programming languages such as Python, R, SQL to code predictive and analytical models. Additionally, data visualization, machine learning, and big data will help you refine your work even more. But most important is excellent written and verbal communication skills. Because if you can't explain your findings to business, then it's of no significance. You can start off as a data analyst or a similar position and move up the ladder to become a data scientist. Software developer. As a software developer, you will build operating systems, applications, games, etc. You will need to learn programming languages such as Java, Python, C, C++, etc. On top of this, you will also need to learn HTML, CSS and JavaScript. The best part is to begin your career as a software developer, you can do a lot of self-learning through sites such as Free Code Camp, Scrimba, Code Academy, and start practicing on your code on sites such as CodePen and JS Fiddle. Practice is the only thing that will get you familiar with the concepts and very good at coding. A software developer's job could also be broken down into various roles. First is full stack developer. This role involves working on the full spectrum of software development, that is handling the front end, which is the client side of the software, the back end, which is the server side of the software, and every other aspect such as code deployment, database management, scalable servers, and some bit of UI UX. A full stack developer basically can develop and deploy end-to-end softwares. Front end developer. This involves focusing on a niche within software development, and here your skills to code the website or application as per the design, UI and UX is put to use. So essentially what the client sees and interacts with when using the software is what you will build. Your best friends in this role are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, various frameworks in JavaScript such as jQuery, React, Angular, just to mention a few. This role requires close coordination with a backend developer. Backend developer. In this role, the responsibility is to build the backend where all the calculation and logic of the code resides. It also involves working on the database where all data is stored. This is like behind the curtains of what the client sees. As a backend developer, you will need to know programming languages such as Python, Java, PHP, C++, .NET, SQL, R, etc. You will need to know how to create APIs that are used by front-end developers for getting user information and saving it on the server. Be proficient in relational and non-relational databases, version control systems, and manage your hosting environment. Mobile application developer. The name says it all. A mobile app developer develops apps that are used on mobile phones, tablets, desktops, etc. You could be an Android, Apple or Windows developer, which is called native code. So you specialize in one of these and write code for each operating system separately. You could also be a hybrid app developer where you develop apps for all platforms through a single code by using frameworks such as Ionic, React Native, Flutter, etc. Whew, that was quite a mouthful, wasn't it? Okay, so let's move on to the next part, which is non-tech jobs. First is Customer Success Manager. Once a company has developed a product, be it an application or software, then what? They need users, right, to start using the product. Now, marketing can get traction, but there needs to be someone who can guide these leads and convert them into active users. Someone who knows the product inside out as well as the processes of the company. This is where this role comes in. As a CSM, you also serve as the customer's medium to provide valuable feedback to the product development team about the product. Business Development Manager. This role would typically be present in companies that provide technology solutions. You would pursue clients who have software development needs and coordinate closely with the IT team to fulfill their requirements. You could also be part of a software as a service, infrastructure as a service, or platform as a service where you essentially are selling a cloud computing service. Product Manager. A product manager is like a thread that connects the customer, business and IT and has to work on all these fronts to get the best version of the product out. As a product manager, you will gather customer needs, align those with the business objectives, and then work with technology to create and implement it. The processes in this role require you to have a deep understanding of agile methodologies, especially in today's scenario where change is the only permanent thing. Having a product manager certification definitely puts you in the forefront, but starting from any role within the product development path can also lead you to become a product manager. Working knowledge of tech jargon is 100% needed. Scrum Master. A Scrum Master ensures that the Scrum framework is followed in organizations that adopt Scrum as a technique to manage their workflow. Basically, Scrum is defining the process of who will do what, by when, and how will this whole thing come together. Scrum Masters essentially coach, develop, and guide teams so they can follow the Scrum guidelines and workflows are clearly defined and adhered to. You can be a graduate in any field, though many organizations prefer IT or business administration guidelines. All you need to do is obtain a Scrum certification. UI UX Designer. The UI UX designer is someone who tells the developer what the website or application or software is going to look like. the designer keeps in mind the principles of UI UX to make sure the product is easy to use, looks great, and at the same time generates maximum value from each user. A certification in design will be needed to get hired in larger organizations if you have no experience, whereas familiarity with design software and concepts can land you a job in a smaller organization from where you can move on to larger ones. Knowledge of software such as Adobe, InVision, Figma, etc. is definitely needed. So that's that. It brings us to the end of our list of jobs in tech. I hope you find this information useful. If you've used this information in any way, then please tell us how in the comments. We will feel very proud to know if our video manages to help even one person. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to stay updated on more informative videos like these, some fun videos to lighten the mood, and of course our very own Millie series that's a satire on the life of a modern woman that comes up every Tuesday and Thursday. Till next time, study hard.